Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100% Chelsea. I know I do sound quite monotone. It's not because I'm in a bad mood or anything. A lot of my family are asleep, so I've got to try and be as quiet as I possibly can. But with us today, as always, we have at Louis the Bungalow. How are you doing today, my friend?
Sorry, mate, something went wrong there. Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, he's just come back from football training. Conceded an absolute howler, didn't you?
No.
Yeah. As always, again, we've got Oren with his self-proclaimed nickname that I'm sure he'll tell everyone once again. How you doing, Oren?
Yeah, I'm good, Max. Back for another show, and I can just say I'm absolutely exhausted.
You can no longer call yourself the Ginger Jim White now that transfer window's over, can you?
No, not really.
Speaking
That's only for the summer and January.
speaking of that though, did you see the thing that there was a baby that was born yesterday? Put it on Sky Sports. They,
Yeah,
they, they gave it his name as the middle name. How
yeah.
sad must you be? So I feel sorry for that family. I'm sorry, but how sad can you be? I'm very sorry if you are watching this, but
What did they call it?
congratulations. They called it something Jim, something. If you are watching, I'm sorry, but it's like that's how. Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, as well as these two, we have a new feature on the channel as well. Obviously, as you guys know, when we do previews and reviews, it's always fun to have a fan of the team that we are playing against. We've done it with MK Dons. I think we've done it with Arsenal. Yep. Let us know if you guys still enjoy seeing this, because obviously a lot of other fans can be deluded. And here is a perfect example. We have Sam, who is a Watford fan. Sam, say hello.
Hello, mate.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got Sam on. He's basically just going to be talking about Watford going into the game. Sorry. So firstly, Sam, how do you feel going into the game tomorrow? Obviously, Igalo is in incredible form still. I think he scored in the FA Cup, didn't he? After you brought him on to try and get a goal.
Scored the winner, mate.
Yeah. So how do you feel going into this game? Do you reckon you could do us? Even our form's looked a lot better recently.
Um, I'm confident we can get a result, but this is a free swing for us. So I'm slightly worried that we could get caught out a bit, but I think it'll be a tight game. But obviously, Chelsea's form is a worry.
Where where are like the weak spots in Watford team that you think maybe Chelsea might have strong areas in that could maybe exploit you in this game?
I think the width and at right back, we don't really have an out-and-out winger. They all tuck in, so we leave a lot of space, which I don't think a lot of teams have noticed. Also, Ben Watson at centre midfield is a little bit slow, so I think Oscar, Hazard, your players like that could cause a few problems. We're solid, but when we get behind, we tend to open up a bit, and that's when we end up losing games 2 or 3-0.
Yeah, obviously a big problem that we will probably get onto later on is the fact that Ake, a big player for you this season, has had a good season. It's sort of like he gets
We
into the
can't
team
play.
most games, doesn't he?
Alone,
Um,
he can't play. So
yeah, obviously he can't play because he's on loan from Chelsea. Do you think that's going to be a problem for you guys, or?
we've got Holibus, so I think we'll be all right. He's a good left back. Obviously, he was in the Serie A team of the year last year, so he's no muck around left back. But he hasn't played much football, which is a worry when you've got Hazard coming into form, Willian having the season of his life, Oscar, people like this. Yeah, it's a bit of a worry, but we've had to put Holibus in before, and I think he can do all right.
Yeah, obviously, I know you're at the game tomorrow. Hopefully, I will be too. Louis, are you at the game tomorrow, and how do you feel going into the game?
unfortunately, I will not be at the game tomorrow. I have had some previous priorities that needed to be addressed. However, I think going to the game tomorrow, one of the key area which I was going to address was Nathan Ake, and obviously how I personally feel he's been probably Watford. Obviously I've watched him a lot because he's on loan, but I think he's been probably Watford's best player this season. I think he's saved you. When I say saved, he's been there a lot. He's stopped some key areas, and I think when you've not had him, you've really missed him. I thought, well, even though it was a draw at Stamford Bridge, I feel that if you did seem a lot more open without Nathan Ake. I just out of interest because obviously I don't watch you guys avidly. Is he a central defender or does he play at left back for you guys?
Ake is playing left back all season, really.
Okay, so
He did go centre back one game,
obviously down
but
that
he's been using left back.
down that left hand side, you are going to be um, obviously probably a bit more. Well, all right, your left, you're going to be probably a lot more open because, like you said, the guy who's coming in hasn't played a lot. Basically, whoever's on that right hand side, that is probably, I'd say it's going to be Watford's weak point. I think that's the area where Chelsea should really go and attack. Obviously, Willian will be playing on that right hand side if he's fit. I don't know because he came back on after the foot injury, but when I was watching the game, he seemed a little bit iffy, if you ask me. I think personally, I think that's the area for us to target. I think obviously going into the game, we haven't lost in 9. That's potentially going to be that swings in our favour. I think we've been playing very, very well recently. I think Diego Costa's been playing well. I think there are a lot of people that are saying Eden Hazard's back. Not convinced. I think it's a case of the team we have, the players that should be starting. I think potentially Hazard could be playing better. I mean, when I saw him against Arsenal, I thought he looked okay. Thought he took a little bit of time to get into the game, but eventually when he started moving, and he was taking people on towards the end, he did seem a lot more mobile. Obviously he scored against MK Dons. However, I'm still not convinced that he is, as some people like to put it, back. I mean, I know I was saying on Twitter on the 100%. He scored. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's not. I want to see more. I want to see him really perform tomorrow. I think that it's a case of Hazard has to step it up, and I think that if everyone steps it up, if Hazard steps it up, if Willian continues on the scale of performance that he's been doing, if Oscar can carry that form through from MK Dons, obviously I know he scored a hat-trick. I know it was only MK Dons, but if he can carry through that confidence and go into the Premier League saying, you know what, if I can score 3 there, I can score whenever I like, potentially we could be seeing a very, very good player for the rest of the season, but it's all a case of can he carry that through. So going forward, I think we're a threat. In the midfield, Matic I still think is iffy. I don't know, do you two agree, Oran, Max? Matic still not.
Yeah, at the moment this season he still hasn't shown his form from last season. I'd still go with Mikel in the midfield.
Yeah. So, but Max, what do you think? Matic, yay or nay this season? I think nay, 100%.
I think it's been dreadful this season. I don't think there's a single game you could take out this season and think Matic played well there. I think going forward we would have to reevaluate his future at the club come summertime. There is still.
I don't think it's that bad though. I think we have to give him time. As in, every player has been bad this season, so I think it's a case if he wants to leave, yeah, go ahead, let him leave. But if he wants to stay and then prove he's still that player he was last season, then let him stay.
I think he's easily been one of the worst though.
Yeah, but so is Ivanovic, and he goes to get a 1-year contract.
Yeah, that's obviously we addressed that, didn't we? But yeah. I mean, I think if it came to Matic, I know we've literally just finished one transfer window. We're supposed to be analysing a game here, but going to the next transfer window, I do believe that Matic, I think he should be kept as a second choice, unless he picks up his form drastically.
The only argument I'm saying is obviously with the right back and Ivanovic's spot, we don't necessarily have a replacement up until we signed this Miazga guy or whatever the fuck his name is.
Can you play right back?
Well, I think he's like centre back or something, isn't he? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, he's centre back. Yeah,
he's centre back. So it's a case of. Sorry, mate. Go on.
What I'm saying is basically that proves my point even more. With Ivanovic, he has to stay in the team because realistically we have no replacement. Whereas with Matic, you look at sort of Loftus-Cheek, who could arguably be in the team. Ramirez before could have been in the team, but he's gone now. So that's pointless really saying. Obviously, Fabregas can play in that position. You've got Mikel as well, like players that are actually able to take up that role. But I don't know. I think if he shows any like glimpse of form in at least one game until the end of the season, I'll be more than happy to stay on.
Well, I've got. It's a couple of mates of mine who Matt and Tashi. Just they think that their words. He's an absolute baller. No, personally, I just think Matic. I would personally just keep him on the bench. Bring in someone who can compete with him because there's no competition in that team unless you basically go right. Mikel, if let's just say Gus Hiddink does really well, I'm going to give Gus the job permanently. He accepts. Hiddink will become a permanent fixture. So Mikel would come straight in to the side, and I think Matic and Loftus-Cheek should be competing with each other. I do not believe. I think Fabregas should be pushed further forward. Him and Oscar have a competition, but Loftus-Cheek, Ake, Matic, obviously Kennedy. Well, for that holding midfield position.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying players who should be back into the lineup. Sorry.
Oh no! As in, just they should all be competing with each other.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think a case of
could be a shout, can they?
Exactly, yeah. But it's a case of Willie. You don't know. I mean, if you've looked at players who performed excellently on loan for the past few seasons, so we bring them back. Oh yeah, we'll bring them straight back in. They'll come straight back into the team. Prime example, I think for me, being Patrick Bamford, gone straight back out loan to Norwich City. I personally believe, instead of bringing in Alexandre Pato, why don't we give him a go? Homegrown.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, sorry. Speaking of Pato, Oren, you tend to know these things. Both Pato and Miazga, can they play tomorrow? Are they eligible?
Yeah, they're eligible.
They are.
To play, yeah.
Okay.
I reckon. Sorry, go on, Oren.
I can't see Miazga playing tomorrow, but I can see Pato getting the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely think he'll be subbed on. But yeah, we'll go on to our predicted lineup soon. But Sam, just something Louis was saying earlier. He said that he thinks that Ake has been one of your best players this year, if not the best one. Do you agree with that, or do you think there's other players that have maybe been a little bit more influential in your season? Because obviously coming up, a lot of people thought you were going to go straight back down. Me being one of them, I'm sure you were quite pessimistic when it comes to staying up, but you've definitely shocked a lot of people in the league this year.
I always thought we'd stay up, but I thought we'd struggle more, definitely. I think Ake has been sort of overlooked. I think Dini and Garlo have got a lot of the plaudits, and rightfully so. He has been very good, he's been consistent, he's scored, he's versatile, he's young. I'd say he's been one of the best 4 or 5 players, but I think the reason Watford have done so well is because everyone's come together. But I would definitely say Ake is a good bet for Chelsea in the future, but I'm hoping he joins permanently in the summer, to be honest.
I'd just like to put my thoughts out there for the match of the weekend, since Max was just about to, cut me off and go for our team selection. I think Watford this season, they've surprised me how well they've done, but not surprised me that they're, going out there and playing well, because I've kept an eye on Watford for a very, very long time, as I was saying to Sam before I went to a game a couple of years ago. But they've been they have conceded goals when they're losing. But it's been quite a solid performance from Watford this year. As in when they were playing Man United and Tottenham, when they got beaten at home, I think they only lost to Man United in the last minute, and they lost to Spurs in the last minute as well. So that shows you the solidness in the team, and they're able to score goals as well with the likes of Gallo and Troy Deeney and a few others helping in with the goals. On the Chelsea front, I think we're starting to turn the corner, and I think the way this Watford team are playing this year, as in it's going to be another test like Arsenal was, and I think that Arsenal game, I know I said it last time, but I think that it's going to ooze confidence into the team, because Arsenal are going for the title, and we're just not having a good season. So I think that confidence is still going to ooze over to this game. And it's going to be a tight one like it was on Boxing Day, I think it was. I think it's going to be another tight one. I think Watford will score, but I think Chelsea will come out on top because just Watford seem to, you know, when they play the big teams, they
And
manage
because you're incredibly over optimistic, but haven't yet been wrong.
Yeah, as in when they come up against the big teams, they put in a good performance, but they never seem to get the right performance or the right game, and never right frame of mind to actually win the game. That's why I think Chelsea will win tomorrow. As always, like Max has said, I'm the eternal optimist. But I do think it will be a tough game because, like I was saying, Watford are, I think, 7th at the moment, or they will be 7th tomorrow if they get a good result. But that just shows you how well they're doing, that they're in the top half of the table after just being promoted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so optimistic going into the game, obviously. I think it was a 2-2 draw at Stamford Bridge earlier on this season.
It was,
Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. And ideally, as I say in basically every stream, a draw wouldn't be the worst result, but we really need to start picking up 3 points. We saw what happened to Arsenal. I mean, 3 points jumped us up a position in the table. Every time we get a point, it's either just stagnating us and keeping us to where we are. So we definitely need to start picking up 3 points. And if we don't take opportunities like this with a team that's going to be missing one of their key midfield defensive players, then I don't really think we'll make our way back up there. So I hope we can. Do you want to get onto the predicted lineup? If I ask you, Sam, what predicted lineup you think Watford will take out first?
I think Gomez will be in goal, at least till the end of the season. I think Niall will be right back.
Didn't you sign Pantilimon?
Yeah, but I think he's the long-term solution. Gomez is a key part of what's going on, and he's been fantastic. Okay. I think it's harsh to drop him.
Yeah.
Cathcart has been another brilliant player. Will be centre half with Britos, who's been a good signing. Bearing in mind he got sent off in his first game. He's been good since then. Holibus will play left back if he's fit, I think.
Sorry, who did you say is playing centre back? Cathcart and who?
Britos.
Alright.
He signed from Napoli in the summer. Then I think, our last game against Newcastle, we played 4 centre midfielders, which is a bit weird, but I think we'll go back to a 4-4-2. Our centre mids will be Etienne Capoue and Ben Watson, and I'm hoping Mario Suarez will come on. I think he looks a fantastic signing. I think it'll be Gerardo on one wing, the new boy Amrabat on the other wing, and then Dini Nagalo up front.
Yeah, I mean, that Dini Nagalo strike partnership is just lethal. Like, obviously, Dini hasn't really been scoring goals, but it's sort of like that whole Bergkamp Henry thing where you had one scoring the goals being Nagalo and one assisting most of them in Dini, which is the same as Henry and Bergkamp, but obviously they're not anywhere near that level. You had Henry scoring the goals, Bergkamp was assisting him, and it's just that perfect strike partnership that is very rare to see in a team, and that's like more or less single-handedly the reason why you're where you are in the league. So that'd be a big problem, especially with the fact that our defence has been awful. We're leaking in goals all over the place. I mean, other than Arsenal, it's been a long time since we had a clean sheet. We obviously conceded 3 at Everton, conceded the MK Dons, but yeah, that's definitely going to be one of the bigger dangers. Hopefully Costa starts because he's on fire. He should do. I wouldn't mind seeing Pato get 10 to 15 minutes at the end, dependent on how the result is going. If we're maybe doing well, a few goals ahead, stick him on. If not, maybe leave it. If we're really far behind, maybe even put him on as a second striker, who knows. But I'd quite like to see him get a little bit of game time. You probably disagree with me there, am I right, Louis?
100%. If Remy's there, if Remy's fit, put Remy on the bench. Alexandre Pato here, we should be given an opportunity, but I think it's too early. I think he needs more time to settle, more time to train with the team, fully integrate himself. I feel throwing him in possibly 5 days a week after he's joined is potentially a bad thing, considering there's also been a weekend in between. I'll jump in on what Sam was saying about Mario Suarez. When I watched the friendly, when we played him in the International Cup, I think it was the friendlies over the summer, Mario Suarez was playing for Fiorentina. The physicality of the player, just the way he moved, the way he was getting stuck in and facing up to players like Costa and Matic. I think potentially he will be starting. Obviously, I think 4-4-2, Aguero and Dean, like we're saying. Obviously, I was on Ball Street a few months ago. If you haven't already checked it out, go subscribe to the Ball Street channel. But we were talking about his 4-4-2 make a comeback. You know, direct football seems to be working for clubs like Leicester, for like clubs like Watford. You know, and you've got the big players and you've got the little ones, little pacey ones, just complementing each other. Similar scenario with Watford, like you're saying, Deeney's assisting, Garlo scoring, but Deeney is just basically a big battering ram to get the ball, hold it up, bring a Garlo into play. That is. And it
He
seems
did
to work
also
for you guys.
score against us at Stamford Bridge, I believe, as
Yeah,
well.
it was a penalty. It was a penalty. It was a penalty. He's exactly, and he's a penalty specialist for Watford. So, obviously, don't give away a penalty. But I think that just we've got to go into Watford tomorrow, looking at what potentially is going to be a physical battle, with the likes of Mario Suarez, with Deeney. Ben Watson, I think, can be quite a physical player for me personally when I watch him. So I think you know the team we're going to be facing is a very strong team. They're obviously performing well in the league, so we've got to be ready for that physical battle. But my lineup, I think it's going to be the same as it always is. I'd like to see Loftus-Cheek come in after us. He had a very strong performance against MK Dons, I thought. And you know, we were talking about players that showed heart. I think that he's that player that's showing heart. I think he needs, if JT's moving out of the team, we need to have that player coming in, and Loftus-Cheek should be that player.
Sorry to interrupt. I completely agree that Loftus-Cheek should start. If he doesn't, I'm going to be outraged. With John Terry, obviously, a lot has happened with him since Sunday. Do you think it's wise to start him, or do you think his head's going to be all over the place?
No, he knows what he's doing. I mean, he knew about that up before Arsenal. So I think, you know, his head was straight at Arsenal. I thought best defender on the pitch for us, even though we didn't have to do much. Best defender on the pitch for us against MK Dons. Held up the ball in from set pieces. I remember the ball was going out of play for a Chelsea throw-in, I believe, and the Watford player straight on it, JT, holding it up for the corner, next to the corner on the byline, but near their box, so we could go on another attack. So the guy knows what he's doing. The passion he shows, obviously, against Everton, the back heel goal, and jumping in the crowd. He has the passion. So he'll always want to play for Chelsea. So if he wants to do that, then his head's going to be in the right place. But I think it's a case of now, like we were saying, the last academy product was John Terry. It's time there should have been more in between. And obviously, I think for the past 18 years we've been kidding ourselves, going, don't worry, we still got John Terry, we still got an academy product. If he goes and we don't bring somebody in, that is when we're going to have the issue. I think it's time to start integrating that person now, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Potentially partnering in with Mikel. Obviously, you've got the box-to-box midfielder there, and the man who can sit and distribute, which is what Mikel has always been good at. Obviously, I've only just come to appreciate that this season. The lineup will be the same as it always is. It'll be Courtois, Azpilicueta, and Ivanovic as the fullbacks. Terry and Zuma in the middle. I'd like to see Loftus-Cheek. I reckon it'll be Mikel next to him, and I think it'll be Hazard, Willian on the flanks. I think Hazard's might potentially, because he was injured or unfit for a lot of the season. May have been a reason that he hasn't been playing well, or he also hasn't just been playing well as well. But hopefully, like I'm saying, I'm not saying he's back. I reckon it can only be go uphill for him from here. He can only go up. So from that penalty, I think he needs to build on that and see if he can build on that against Watford. I think that Oscar has to start after that performance. If you drop Oscar, that'll be, like you're saying with Gomez. If you dropped him for Pantilimon, it'll be terrible. Dropping Oscar would be like, I don't know, dropping something important, dropping your Oyster card on the underground. If I think Oscar has been absolutely phenomenal, or he was phenomenal in that game. So I think he can only get better, and hopefully he can carry the confidence. And I think if we're gonna, so if I was talking about Watford having a physical game, I've got to fight fire with fire, and I think Diego Costa should be starting at top.
Yeah, I more or less completely agree with that lineup. I mean, as I said, I'd still like to get Passo to be given a little bit of game time. As I said, just 5-10 minutes just to ease them into the Premier League against a side dependent on how the game is going, though. Obviously, don't just bring them on if we're winning or if we bring on a second forward. That's how I think it should be done. Yeah, as I said, I basically agree with your lineup. Should we get on to score predictions, or is there anything else we should run through?
I'd just like to say my lineup, Max, for getting me again.
I
Thanks.
God,
thought
Max.
you were going to sort of follow on from Louis' one, mate.
Well, I was and I wasn't, but I still like to get my opinion out there. So, anyway, I'm only messing with you, Max. I'd like to see Loftus-Cheek play this game for two reasons. One, I think he does need the game time. I think he needs to be integrated into the squad. And also, I think he should play against Man United at the weekend. Because I think him and Mikel will do well against. But I think this looks like it's going to be a good partnership. And I also think Loftus-Cheek, the way he played on Sunday, he gave so much heart and he gave it his all, and he knew what had to be done, and he did what had to be done. I just think he would be. I think he's at the moment when Matic isn't performing and with Terry leaving, I think he's just a perfect fit to put into the team. As in, like, if you really want experience, you have to throw the player. Yeah, you throw him into the ball pit, if you know what I mean. Throw him into the deep end. You have to get him out there and with experience. With the whole Palo situation, I would agree with Louis. If Remy's fit, forget about him. Let him, integrate into the squad a bit until he's ready and fit. Because when he's joined and the Brazilian league has finished in November, I think, so he hasn't played or trained in quite a while. So let him get into the training regime first, and then bring him into the side. Other than that, yeah, it'll be the same as Louis.
Sorry,
And yourself, Max.
sorry. On the subject of Patamar, like you're saying, the Brazilian league finished in November.
Yeah.
When we signed him, he scored 10 goals in 30 games as a striker. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but if you're not on fire in the Brazilian league, he's not exactly firing on all cylinders in the Premier League, is he? Let's be brutally honest here. I just think it's poor business.
I agree with you. I think it's awful. The fact that I say it's more or less every stream. The fact that the team can get Charlie Austin for 4 million and we get Passo for 10 million. We realistically should be attracting top players, like more top players, and players should be wanting to come to us more than somewhere like Southampton. It's ridiculous. However, obviously, one thing you can take away from it may be different players, different leagues. That is probably not the case, especially with how poor the Brazilian league is, like technically.
To be fair to the Brazilian league, though, we were beaten by Corinthians in the Club World Cup final. They are a pretty solid-looking team. However,
From what I remember, we didn't put out like a solid side, though, did we?
no, we did. It was a pretty
Really?
decent team, yeah.
Okay.
I have an outside opinion if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
100%.
Shoot.
On the whole Pato thing. I think he's a good signing.
Really?
And the reason that is he has something to prove. Ever since he left Milan, I mean, his first 2 years at Milan were brilliant. Everyone was like, oh, he's going to be the best player, one of the best strikers in the world. And I agreed. I thought he was fantastic. And he got injured, and I think people gave up on him. I think if he gets game time, he'll score goals. I think he can do it in the Premier League. I really do. I just think it depends on how many opportunities he'll get, which then I think depends on how far Chelsea get in the cups. Because I think the further you go, the more chances Loftus-Cheek, Pato, Remy will get in the Premier League. Because I can't see you getting into the top four. But I think FA Cup you should win, and I think Champions League pot luck. It's a good signing, and I think he might score, to be honest, tomorrow if he comes on.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right, Sam, about him performing if he plays. I really hope, because I am at the moment. My opinion is with Max and Louis, he's gonna flop like Falcao, and he's not gonna do much. And we could have gotten someone much better, like Charlie Austin, for less without what we're paying him for a loan move, and we could have tried to sign Charlie Austin permanently. But yeah, I do agree with you that he did have a good spell with Milan and truly did get injured, and that's something to prove. That's a really good point that you've made, because I kind of never thought of it that way. And if you think of it that way, it could turn out to be a good signing depending on what he does for the club.
You've also got to think as well. Max, I remember you saying about attracting top quality players. The big, good strikers have already played in the Champions League this season. So the likes of Griezmann wouldn't be able to play for the rest of the season in Europe, which is probably one of Chelsea's main aims now. Well, Pato can, and I just think he's going to do well. I've got a good feeling about
That is a
Alexander
good
Pato.
shout. Yeah, definitely.
I think he's a good player. I just think he needs a chance. I think he's one of those strikers who needs a bit of love.
Sorry to cut
And
you
I
short
think-
on Pato. Sorry, Samuel. But
Right.
I've just been sent something anyway about him. Hiddink has said Pato has not had many training sessions and is a late decision we made on his availability against Watford. So clearly that means that he's not. I don't think he'll be available if he's not had many. Like saying league finished in November, he's not really integrated into the team. I don't think it's worth taking that risk. But I completely agree on the point you made. You know, he has something to prove, and a lot of the players who have something to prove have always come out on top, and it's usually worked out quite well for both parties. However, another point you made is he's very injury prone. He was on fire, AC Milan, absolutely on fire. But at the end of the day, he became injury prone, and he was falling away from the team. When he was on fire, everybody wanted him. Everybody wanted him because he was amazing. I think it was a pass and a run, he took out 11 players in Barcelona and scored. Well, I think it was 19. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, that was great. But then the injuries kept coming, and they kept coming, and they kept coming, and they kept coming. And at the end of the day, if he's not going to be fit, he's not going to play. It's a similar situation with Falcao. Falcao, obviously, I can't help but feel sorry for him now. He's stuck in a hotel in Madrid. Atletico don't want him anymore. And he's not going to play for Chelsea because he's not going to get into the team because he's always injured. And I think if you go, I have a hard feeling that Pato's going to flop because he is injury prone. And because the Premier League is such a physical league, he's going to get kicked over like that. And he won't get back up like that. He'll just stay on the floor, and then he'll get up and go, "Oh, I'm really hurt. Stretch me off." I can't see him lasting personally.
No, I completely agree. As I said, I don't rate the signing of him. I don't think it's a good move. To be fair, I think Falcao was even more of a stupid move in the summer. But yeah, we've got to the golden half-hour mark now. So should we give our score predictions? I will go first. I'm going to go for a 2-2 away draw. Ideally, I'd love to get that win, and we need them 3 points, but I just don't see it happening. Obviously, Watford is still a very strong side, even though a lot of fans thought they would have dropped by now. But yeah, they're still up there. Their strikers are still in form. Gala's just come from a goal at the weekend. I'm not as confident. I'll go to you first, Oren. What are you predicting? I'm sure it's a Chelsea win.
Yeah, obviously it's gonna be a Chelsea win, but I think it'll be a really tight game. We will struggle. I think Watford will take the lead, if I'm honest. But I think we'll just nick it 2-1, as in literally just nick it 2-1, because I think like I was saying, Watford are a very solid team.
I do think one of the few things that we can expect tomorrow is goals. That is something that we will more than likely see, which is good. Louis, I'll go to you and then I'll finish with Sam.
I'm going to say a 2-1 win. I'm feeling optimistic. I thought you'd hear that from me.
Yes, Louis, come on, 2-1.
I think 2-1 win is possible. I think, like I'm going to point it out again, Nathan Ake's not in the side. If he's not in the side, I think that's going to be a massive weakness in the team. I just personally think that we should just target that right hand side, power through constantly, and I think that's where we're going to find it. I think Willian's cut in, or Hazard, and just the movement between the three in midfield, between Oscar, Hazard, Willian. Obviously they'll be moving everywhere across that three for 1 minute. Willian could be down the middle, Hazard will be on the right, Oscar will be on the left. So you never know what's going to happen. And I just think if we just have the three of them targeting that right hand side, I think that's the way that we're going to get into that back and round that defence. And I think I'm going to go 2-1 and say I reckon we can win that. I'm going to say, and I think Diego's going to be that strong centre back which we need in the middle. That who's going to be taking on a strong centre back. What about a strong centre forward who can be taking on those two strong centre backs? And I think that I think he's going to nick one tomorrow.
I think I'm starting to come to the realisation that maybe Oren isn't the eternal optimist and I might just be the eternal pessimist, but who knows, we'll see what happens tomorrow. And lastly, Sam, the Watford fan, what are you predicting, friend?
I agree with you, Max, about goals. Most Watford games involve goals. I think 2-2. I think I'll go with
2-2.
Chelsea to take the lead through Hazard. I think he looked good at the weekend. I thought I watched the game on telly. I think 2-2 Hazard to score first, and I think we'll get ahead. And then I think Pato's going to come on and score the winner in the 90th minute.
Oh,
The equaliser in the 90th minute.
You're trying to never come back on here again, aren't you?
No. I think Pato, if he plays, I just think he might. I just got a good feeling about it. I like him personally.
Listen, I was right. I was sorry, mate. I was right about Falcao. I'm right about this one. He's going to flop. I was right. I was sat with Eunice, talking to Dan over the summer. You got them going, oh no, Mourinho, get the best out of him. We're doing really well. Straight away, no, can't see it happening. And it's the same situation with Pato. Injury prone. Scored 10 in 30 in the Brazilian league. If he's going to do that in the Brazilian league, he's not going to score 1 in the Premier League. That's my personal opinion.
Bloody hell, Sam! I hope you're right about Pato. I really do.
Who knows? Look back on this stream and see if he is. So that's 2-2-1 predictions from you guys, was it?
Yeah, 2-2-1.
And then 2-2-2s from us two. So yeah, that's our predictions. We'll get on to shout-outs, Louis. Anything you'd like to say?
I'd like to say thank you to my friend Matt Cook for sending me that thing on Pato over Facebook about Hiddink's article. I think it's good to find such people who can send you stuff, which is always really useful. Obviously, thanks to you guys for obviously watching the stream and staying up or getting up early or wherever you are, just watching us. I think. Let's just hope for a good result tomorrow, but not for the Watford fan. Sorry, mate.
He also has a YouTube channel called The Bungalow, and check out his Twitter, which is Louis The Bungalow.
You're plugging me now. Oh, cheers for that, mate.
I was expecting you to do it yourself, mate. But
I thought you said we were going to be on to shout-outs, so I thought we were going to do the shout-outs and then
oh no,
we were going to sign off.
Oh no, people have got the wrong idea. Now I've got to run through and do shout-outs.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. In that case, we're going to do shout-outs. Great. Okay, here we go. No,
Daniel White 3-0 Chelsea. Bloody hell, mate.
Anas Rahman, Mark Anthony, Jared, Fold, Daniel White, as you said, James Evans. So that's all I see so far. Joel McCollins, Borjan Najdowski, RV316, James Evans, I don't know if I said that, Mourinho Games, Chol Mayhem, Kwasi Mensah, putting a few more, and then we'll go around again. Joel McCollins, Maurice Liliano, and yeah, I think they're starting to go around now. But yeah, obviously, definitely check out Louis' YouTube channel called The Bungalow. And
I promised I'd do a Q&A, but the reason I haven't done one is because the tripod still hasn't arrived, which is doing my head in, and I need to get that tripod.
Most people sort of like stack books up and put their camera on top, and that'll work well as a tripod. But you know, Louis is a glamour, so
he's a professional.
It doesn't look good with the books. I tried that.
Classic Louis.
They're all different sizes. No, shut up. They're all different sizes, and I just couldn't get it the right height. And besides, I can't put it behind me on the table here. I have to sit on my bed, and then I'd have to pile the books up to about above my head now. So it's not going to be about here. I'm sorry, Max.
No, to be fair, I haven't uploaded since Friday. But yeah,
inconsistent.
Haven't uploaded. My YouTube channel will be in the description. Should be uploaded to. No, scrap that first aid because I'm hopefully going to be at the Watford game tomorrow. Definitely check that out. It's called The 12th Man. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We're nearing 600 subs now, which is crazy because we only hit 500 about a week ago. So if you guys can keep that going, that'd be great. Also, there is a link to my Twitter, which is also on the screen around there. Oren, you're next, mate.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a win tomorrow, and you can follow me on Twitter at @Tully_Oren.
Definitely give him a follow. And lastly, the Watford fan himself, Sam. Anything you'd like to say, mate?
I want to thank you guys for having me on. It's been quite a fun experience, to be honest. I'm just hoping for a good game, to be honest. It's getting promoted is everything we wanted, was just to play the best teams in the league. So it's free swing. If we lose, we lose. If we win, we can fight into the night.
Talking about playing one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion, you've been one of the best this season. So
That is arguable.
All thanks to the manager.
Yeah, God, Sanchez, Flores. But yeah, something he did miss out. His Twitter will be in the description. It is at Sam_Blackwood99. Definitely give him a follow. Just sort of copy and paste that, put it in Twitter or type it in. Sure, you'll find it. Yeah, as I said, definitely follow him. So that's us, guys. We have been 100% Chelsea. All social media links to the channel will be down in the description. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do so. Once again, as I said at the beginning, sorry that I'm talking really quietly and in a very miserable sounding way. It's purely because my family are asleep and I don't want to wake them up. But yeah, we should be back again soon. Obviously, transfer window's closed now, so it does make it a little bit more difficult. But anyway, if you have enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe. This has been 100% Chelsea. Goodbye.